It's here and it's heavy. Look at these corner protections here. Reinforcement and heavy duty strapping. Well, I bet this box alone weighs already 5 kilos. This device in here is already on the market for over a year, but not here in Australia. This is the first ever here in Australia. Well, at least I haven't seen any other videos about this device, so I'm claiming I am the first who is getting this device here in Australia. Well, you know, Australia is still a bit of a developing country, so we are always late with new technology. All the new stuff goes to the US and Europe first, and then years later it comes finally to Australia. Must be because we are on an island. Whoa. Finally, 1.5 kilowatt hours, 16.3 kilogram, and it is yes, it's the Bluetti EB150, finally available here in Australia. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, the Bluetti EB150 from Max Out is the ultimate power station, emergency power backup, camping all-in-one solution. Man, this thing does everything. We've got only 3 buttons at the front, which operates the whole unit. To turn it on, hold the power button for 2 or 3 seconds and the display turns on. It shows you the input of your solar or AC charger, the DC output and the AC output. To turn on all your USB and cigarette lighter outputs, hold the DC on button for 2 seconds until the light turns green, and now the display shows the DC side is turned on. And to do the same with the inverter, hold it for 2 seconds and now we've got AC and DC turned on. So the whole unit is already operational now. Man, how easy is that? And here the battery shows you we are on 2, 4, 6, 8, 80% state of charge at the moment. So the battery is already well charged. I like that this one comes with rubber feet. Battery capacity 1.5 kilowatt hours, 14.8 volt DC, 101 ampere hours. Wow. There you can charge it from 16 to 60 volt DC, 10 amps, 500 watt max. Here, you can connect loads up to 1000 watts, 240 volts. It can actually handle 1.2 kilowatts for a very short amount of time. And the efficiency of the built-in inverter, I don't know, I've forgotten. What is the efficiency? What was it? And the efficiency of the built-in inverter is 90%. Yeah. The Bluetti power station is actually not as heavy as I. That was just for the video. I thought this is funny for the intro, so it's not as heavy as I. A cigarette lighter output, 12 volt, 9 amps, 108 watts, 4 USB ports, 3 amps each. 3 amps each! That is super high power charging for your devices. And there's also a USB-C connector, which has 5 to 20 volts and up to 45 watts. Man, and look at this design. Look at this workmanship. This is amazing. That feels really nice. There are no corners, no edges, nothing. Even here, this is all perfectly manufactured. The quality is insanely good. Big sturdy handle and rubber insert here. Nice, I like it. Portable power station user manual. Ah, it's in German too. LCD-Anzeige, Sicherheitswarnung, Lagerung und Wartung. Cool. So for the EB150 it says it's a 1.5 kilowatt hour battery rated, and the lithium ion battery inside is in a 4S and 41P configuration. That is very interesting. So the whole system inside runs on 12 volt only. Yeah, and this one is 16.3 kilograms. I really wish I had this when we had the power loss 2 weeks ago. I could have just connected our water pump to this unit here, and we could have showers and everything and running water inside the house for hours. And I didn't have to run the cable from the off-grid garage back to the house. This unit here is the ultimate emergency power generator for your house. You can easily run your fridge and your freezer and your TV from this unit for hours. Okay, let's have a power loss. Okay, it's in the middle of the night again. Power has been lost. Thunderstorm, total blackout. And here's our water pump, which we need to supply water to the house. And here's our Bluetti. Let's take the pump out of the power point and plug it into our Bluetti. Yeah, takes a moment, but then it starts up. And I would also like to put this power meter in between here to see how much kilowatt hours we actually take out of the Bluetti overnight with this pump. So we are currently at 459.5 kilowatt hours. Okay, so we're plugging in the meter first and the pump again. 525 watts. And there the fan turns off again. Okay, let's see how this works. Okay, I'm really keen to see if the Bluetti is able to supply power to our pump for the whole evening and night until tomorrow morning, until the power comes back. Because we haven't fully charged it yet. It is around 80% state of charge at the moment. So I'm not sure how much power we will actually use with the pump overnight for taking showers and kitchen and cooking and stuff. So this will be an interesting test. All right, I shall see you again tomorrow morning or tonight if the pump does not work anymore. Let's see how the situation is this morning. 460.1. How much did we have last night? Can't remember. It's probably half a kilowatt hour now. Still going strong. Battery, 1 bar left. Hang on, there you can see it. 1 bar is left. We had only 4 bars, so it wasn't fully charged. Still running. Amazing. Yeah, I plugged it in around 6 o'clock. Well, preparing dinner, used a lot of water, bathroom, showers. This morning, breakfast, washing machine was running, dishwasher was running this morning. So I guess I can easily supply power to the pump for 24 hours. That is impressive. Okay, let's get this thing back in Andy's garage. We still have 1 bar left. I want to discharge the unit completely and then let's turn on AC again. Oh, it turned off. It just turned off. Did you see that? There's no... Come on, back on. Just by itself. Okay, if I turn on AC, the inverter turns on. Turn on the charger. 190 watts. Let's see. Low battery warning should come up at any moment. Come on. That's just the display turns off. But where's my low battery warning? Should there not be something on the display now saying please recharge me? Connect me to a DC power source to recharge the internal battery? Well, we are still pulling 200 watts from the inverter. So let's see for how long this runs. I can even recharge. Ooh, there's an error message. E008. Where was that? Under voltage protection for the first cell. So the whole Bluetti power station has now shut down because the cell number 1 has reached the low voltage disconnect and the BMS shut the whole thing down. So I guess it is now time to charge the Bluetti power station and get it back to life, hey? So we will use the power pack which came with the Bluetti power station. What I will do is I will put the energy meter in between as well. I just want to see how much energy we actually use to recharge the power station as well. Okay, we have to remember, can't see anything there. Here, 460.1 kilowatt hours. Come on, there. And then we just connect the charger cable here to the DC input. Here, light comes on. And we are charging now with 215 watts. There you can see it. That's how it looks like. We are charging from the grid. Because we are charging with 200 watts here from the power supply, it will take about... So it will take around 7.5 hours to fully charge the power station now. Alright, see you tomorrow morning. Okay, it's now 6 o'clock in the morning. The Bluetti shows a green light. The power supply has a green light. And we are pulling 7.5 watts only from the grid. It's the off-grid. So I guess we are fully charged now. Alright, let's have a look. We've got 46.2 kilowatt hours. That means we have charged it with only 0.9 kilowatt hours to fully charge. That is not much. Well, the Bluetti power station is supposed to have 1.5 kilowatt hour. So I don't know how we can recharge it with only 0.9 kilowatt hours, but can get 1.5 kilowatt out of it. Let's do the test. Alright, so this good old light bulb here from Philips is a 100 watt. It's a 100 watt reflector lamp, and I've just plugged it into the meter here, and it says 114.9 watts it pulls from the grid. So we will plug this one in to Bluetti and let it run until this one turns off, and then we measure the capacity again, what we actually could get out of the Bluetti. Yep, it looks like it's fully charged. We turn on the AC. Once the inverter ramps up, there it comes, gradually coming online. Man, someone needs to clean up this here, really. How am I supposed to make good videos here in this environment? So this one shows us 109 watts we are pulling, 114.9 watts it says here on the meter. Okay, I guess see you this afternoon.
Many hours later.
I was just looking inside the garage and the light has turned off. Battery is discharged. Yeah, display is off. What do we have? 463.3. So this is like... So we have discharged 1.3 kilowatt hours out of the power station, but we have charged only 0.9 kilowatt hours into the battery to charge it. How does that work? Oh, you have a look at the display, it's totally dead again. Okay, I could restart the whole power station now. Oh, we are getting an error E08. E08. Under voltage protection for first cell. Again, cell number 1. Okay, I guess we have to redo the whole test again and see if we can confirm these numbers. They look very suspicious. I guess you already expect that. Yeah, see you tomorrow morning. Okay, so now the battery is fully empty and we could... Fully empty? My battery is fully empty. That goes on the t-shirt, right? Alright, and this is our second charging test. Green light, 465.2. We had 463.3 before. So this is now 1.9 kilowatt hours charged into the Bluetti power station. That sounds far, far better than the result we had before. So I'm really keen to do the test again with the light bulb and see how much power we can actually get out of the battery this time. So let's get this done. There we go, 110 watts. I've got the energy meter in between. Light is on. Look at all this rubbish here. What happened here? And we now have to wait another 10 hours or so. The light is off. The test has finished. The power station has turned off. I think the battery is fully empty again. All right, let's have a look on the power meter and see what we got. We have 466.5 kilowatt hours and we started at 465.2. So that means we've got 1.3 kilowatt hour taken out of the battery. That's exactly the same result as we had before, right? It says rated capacity, not usable. This is rated capacity 1500 watt hours. It's not the usable capacity. The pack has 1.5 kilowatt hours, but obviously we can only use 1.3 kilowatt hours. Well, the test went now for over 10 hours with this 110 watt load on it. And we also have to consider the inverter inside, and the electronic uses some power as well. Well, at this point of time, we have to assume the inverter has an efficiency of about 90 to 95%. Yeah, it says 90% in here. If the load is over 70%, it's a 1 kilowatt inverter and the load had only 110 watts, so roughly 10%. So the efficiency might be a lot worse at 10%. And I'm also assuming they are not discharging the batteries by 100%. Again, just an assumption. I think they will probably charge to 95% and discharge to 10% only. I just plugged in the light again. I just want to see if we get the same error again as we had the last two times when it complained about cell number 1. Yeah, we are getting E008 again, which is cell number 1. So the first cell seems to be the weak one here in this Bluetti power station. There's always one cell which is the weakest, and in this case it's number 1. Okay, this should conclude our discharge test now. So we can discharge the Bluetti EB150 with about 1.3 kilowatt hours until our power station shuts down. Okay, this is the first test to charge the Bluetti power station here directly from solar. I'm using the cable which came with the Bluetti power station. It has 2 MC4 connectors on one side and then plugs in directly to the unit on the other side to charge it. And here we can now see we are charging with 29 watts. This is a 40 watt solar panel. And I've used this bat here to optimize the solar panel orientation. So this is perfectly aligned. I really don't need to calibrate a new one at the moment. Even I would like to. 28.8. And let's see what we have here. A bit hard to read. We've got 27 watts, 28, 26, it's tracking, 25, 27 watts, and it's charging. We can see the animation here. It is charging. And I've got a new device here. It's a solar power meter, which shows us the power coming from the sun per square meter in watts. So at the moment we have 1024 watts per square meter in this orientation. Pure sunshine. No, it's not. It's a little bit cloudy. 23 watts. It is tracking. So the MPPT seems to work. 1.5 amps. And I've just put these adapters here in between the MC4 connectors so we can measure the voltage. 17, 18 volts. That's what the MPP solar charge controller inside the Bluetti power station tracks. That seems to be okay. So our voltage and maximum power point should be 18, 18.9, and the current in the maximum power point 2.12 amps. So I've got my Bluetti charging cable here, solar charging cable. Plugs into the MC4 connectors of the solar panel, and the other side, very easy and convenient, just plugs into the DC input. And we can already see 100, 120, 130, 140 watts. And we could also hear the fan coming on. Everything above 100 watts, the fan is coming on. 138 watts in these less than ideal conditions. 140 watts. Okay, let's cross check this with the solar panel tester. 139 watts. So exactly the same as the Bluetti. 133. Clouds, huh? So charging the Bluetti with such a 220 watt solar panel takes about 7 hours on full sunshine. If you have only such a smaller panel with 40 watts here, it obviously takes a lot longer. So you could potentially charge the power station during the week with this panel here, and then it will be fully charged for your adventures during the weekend. And this is probably the only way I would recommend charging the Bluetti power station, via solar. And of course you can always use the power station while you are charging it, DC and AC. So at the moment I'm charging my mobile phone here from the USB ports with about 10 watts, and we are getting 19 or 20 watts from the solar panels at the same time. So hooking up the Bluetti power station to a solar panel gives you basically infinite power. It just recharges all the time, you know. Even if you use power from the battery, it continues to recharge the power station all the time. Perfect. But I really like the simplicity they have done with connecting solar panels to this unit, because it has the solar charge controller already built in. You don't need to worry about anything. You just plug in your MC4 connectors to your panels, plug in the port over here, and it starts charging. Takes care of everything. No other change of configuration, no programming needed. Very simple and easy to do. The only downside I have discovered so far is the charge controller in the power station would not turn on if the panel is shaded partly, like this in the morning. Let me get the panel tester. So the solar panel tester shows us we can already get 20 watts at 18 volts. And we've got a DC minimum voltage here of 16 volts. So I don't know, almost 1 amp we can get out of the solar panel. I don't know why it's not turning on then. It looks like the Bluetti needs a higher threshold of solar input to actually get started. That is a bit of a shame, because if you have smaller panels and you connect them in half shade situations like this, it won't charge. DC on. Okay, so as one of the last tests with the Bluetti EB150 Power Station, I want to do some testing with our electronic load here. I want to test the USB outputs and see if they can really deliver 3 amps each. So for this purpose I have plugged in a USB cable into our tester, and we connect the other side with our Bluetti. We can already see we've got 5.07 volts, and I'm ramping up the amps now. Yep, this is around 1 amp. You can see we have 6 watts on output. And we will go a little bit higher. 7. So we are 2 amps, 12 watts, 2.5 amps. We've got 15 watts, 7, 3 amps. There we go. 3 amps, 19 watts. No problem at all. So just to make things a little bit clearer here, each of these USB ports can deliver 3 amps individually. But if you plug in more USB cables to charge more devices at the same time, then you have a limitation of 3 amps per side. So the top and bottom one can deliver 3 amps in total, and these two on the left hand side, top and bottom, can deliver 3 amps in combination as well. But individually 3 amps each. And even we have a USB-C port here on the tester. I haven't got a cable to connect it actually from here to there. Okay, I guess this test will come in a later video. Alright, it's now time for a verdict about the Bluetti EB150 Power Station. I've now been using the Bluetti EB150 Power Station for over 2 weeks, and I must say I like it. I like it really. I only charge the power station from solar here and then later on use the energy for different applications. So after using it that long, I must say the unit is not perfect. There are some little things which could be better. So for example, I really dislike that there is no low voltage warning on the display. Eventually the unit will just shut down without any warnings. I'm sure with these 5 bars showing the battery status, the battery capacity, you're getting used to it over time when you have certain applications connected to it and you know how long you can run the application for on a certain state of charge. But I think a percentage display would be far better. It gives you a far better idea how full or how empty your battery is, right? This 5-bar display is a bit too rough for me. And talking about the software, it could provide overall a bit more information. It could show a remaining time for the current load, or a remaining time for the average, what you have used for the last hour. I think it gives you a better understanding what to expect from the battery then. And talking about solar charging, the solar efficiency doesn't seem to be quite as good in shading conditions. The built-in MPPT solar charge controller does start up very, very late. Even the solar panel already produces a voltage above the threshold of 16 volts. The unit does not start charging. It really needs a bit more sun to get started. So if you are in shady conditions, the solar charging may not quite work for you. And as a second suggestion, maybe an app would be amazing. You could display and control the state of charge, the capacity, the charging input from your mobile phone. But overall, the unit is quite amazing. I mean, you take it out of the box, you connect it to your charger or to your solar panel and start charging. There's no setup necessary, there's no programming necessary. It's just a plug-and-play solution. You probably don't even need the manual. Man, I tell you, I really love this thing. Especially here on our big property. There's always something to repair somewhere. I recently had to repair something on the shed for the horses. But the shed is about 400 meters away from the garage, so there's no way to take any extension leads or something. And usually you have to go there, you have to measure your stuff, and then you come back and you build your part here in the garage and then take it back out to see if it works and come back and do adjustments. And well, you easily run 2 and 2.5 kilometers until you get your job done. But this time I had everything packed into my wheelbarrow. The power station, the jigsaw, the angle grinder, the power drill, a miter saw and a planner. And I took it all out to the shed and set it all up there and could use all my power tools on site and got the job done in no time. It was amazing. Well, the Bluetti Power Station makes these jobs really easy now, especially for property owners and tradesmen. And also, as you have seen, I have used the Bluetti Power Station as an emergency backup generator during a power loss. We had a simulated power loss and operated the pump of the house, which supplies us with water, for the whole night. And it was still running in the morning with still 1 bar left, and it wasn't even fully charged. This is so much easier than running cables from the off-grid garage to your house, and not everyone has got an off-grid garage, right? And you can also plug in your freezer or your fridge or your TV or your computer, any application you can think of, up to 1000 watts, you can hook up to the Bluetti Power Station. Well, and then let's don't forget about the main application, possible main application of the Bluetti Power Bank. Well, it could work as an off-grid system, right? The power station has everything included. MPPT solar charge controllers, inverter, all the cabling and safety functions. Even the battery is included in the power station. The only thing you need to connect is a solar panel. Why would you bother with setting up single cells, battery management system, cabling, balance leads, and need to program and configure everything when you can have all this in one unit? Well, you can leave the solar panel plugged in and still use the inverter or the DC output, and it recharges your battery until it's full, and then it turns off. And when you use power with your applications, it turns on the solar charge controller again and recharges the energy. So for people who don't care about these things here and just want to have a simple, quick solution, this is perfect. So, well, who should actually get such a Bluetti power station? Well, I guess almost everyone. Outdoor enthusiasts, campers, RV dwellers, landowners, tradesmen, you name it. Well, you can replace a gas-powered generator in most cases with it, and it delivers green and clean energy to your applications and tools. Yeah, so I think pretty much everyone should get a Bluetti power station, and a solar panel, of course. Well, Bluetti supplied me with a discount code for you guys. Go to the shop here in Australia, bluettipower.com.au, and use the code AK100 to get a 100% discount on the... It's actually a 100 Australian dollars discount on the purchase price. So the link to the Australian Bluetti website is down in the description as well as on my website. Well guys, so far this longer video this time with a complete experience sharing of the Bluetti EB150 Power Station. Well guys, sorry for the length of this video, but there was so much to explore with this unit, and I guess I will do more testing in the future. And guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your support here on the channel. Stay charged, stay safe, and we shall see us again in the next video coming out very soon. Thanks again guys, see you then, bye bye.